friends. I said no, no. Hey, yeah, whoa. My soul is stuck between dark and the light. It's like playing some musical chairs. They kicked me out, so I started a life, made a bag that was bigger than theirs. I win and I lose and I win and again. I can see why they think that's unfair. We putting the work and we making them bends. To be honest, I don't really share. You rolling with hitters, I don't understand. You killing good people, that wasn't the plan. Round of the game, come get your mans. He's selling his soul for a couple of
What up, beaches? What's good? Welcome to the Slamcast. The Smashcast.
That's the one reason I don't give a damn. Whoa, devil knocked and I buzz him in. This is life with the son of man. Poured a drink, half a dozen in. Threw my head for a sudden spin. Sad story with my violin. All these problems start to pile in. All these peasants turn to violence. Two-faced, thought you had a twin. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no.
Oh, we ready? Are we ready for the swole time? We ready for the swole time, beesh? Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready? Swole, Norma.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles, a testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1151 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What is going on? Yas beaches, yas booshes, it's your boy, Papa Sleazy, yo, and I'm here to make sure you make some sick fucking gains today on a Smashday. It's Monday Smashday. I hope you're getting your smash on. I hope you're ready to crush some weights today. If you did not pump, what are you going to pump? What did you pump? Are you going to pump? Make sure you're pumping. I starred in the movie with Robin Williams once. It was called Good Will Pumping. Y'all. What's up? How many times a day do I eat? I don't know, once or twice? The fuck? That's a hard open. Who gives a shit? What's going on, beaches? Welcome to the sleaze. Welcome to Monday Smashday. Thank you for joining me live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And of course, I'm sure you are always here. You're probably a regular. If you're a noob, if you're popping your swole cherry, drop it in the comments down below. And I am here. Okay, I'm here. All right, that's it. That's all I got to say. That's all I have to say about that. If you didn't catch yesterday's episode, you can catch it. It's a Sunday Funday Q&A. So those of you that are asking 1,000 questions, most of which we answered yesterday, make sure you go and check out yesterday's podcast, because we covered a lot of those questions I see popping up. But I'll try to take some if they're contextual today. Starting the week off strong. Actually midweek, if you start the week on Friday, like a lot of you have started doing. Have any of you actually changed your schedule so you're actually paying attention to Friday being the start of your week? Have any of you tried that, doing that little psychological shift to thinking the end of the week is the beginning of the week and getting off this fucking hamster wheel that everyone's trying to keep you on? Monday through Sunday, repeat, Monday through Sunday. When did Monday get a bad fucking rap? Why is Monday getting a bad reputation? Why don't we change Monday to Wednesday? Why don't we make Wednesday the start of the week? Make it the hump day the start of the week. Make Friday hump day and make Monday just the end of the week. It's the week start. Just fucking flip it. It's how you think about it. It's not the start of the week. So I say the beginning of the week because most of you are going to refer to it as that. And I, of course, out of habit for my entire life, it's still habitual to call it the beginning of the week, because all the calendars start with Monday, right? Or you have the S, you have the Sunday, and then you have Monday, depending on how you write your calendar. It's just a hamster wheel. It's just the same thing that just goes around and around. I think that's a huge part of being lost in a fitness experience, a fitness journey, going after goals, when you just have the same thing over and over again. So you compare this Monday to the next Monday, to the next Monday. What do you compare a Monday to? Another Monday, a Wednesday to a Wednesday. And you're comparing each day with the next, but each day is new. It's a little bit of a subtle mind fuck. Even during the day when you have 12 a.m., 12 p.m., you have 9 a.m., you have 9 p.m., and then 9 a.m. It keeps you on this. Think about the cycle that we have. It's weird. You got 24 hours, the same numbers we use over and over again. Then we have the same numbers we use for 1 through 12. We don't go to, I use military time. I use military time because anything else is fucking stupid. If there are 24 hours in a day, tell me it's 2300 when it's 11 p.m. Why? Because then it's like 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. Well, if you said 23, everyone fucking knows. No one's confused about 23. If you are, just do a little fucking math and figure it out. So it just blows my fucking mind that we keep that cycle so tight. Right? We keep that cycle so tight. So think about it. Think about within that 12-hour cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way with 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have 60 minutes, 01, 02. There's all these little, and 60 seconds, there's all these little sub cycles that just go around and around and around. And it's a way for us to create some kind of organization around no organization. It's our way of just creating some type of a habit, some type of a cycle, something that makes sense. So we go around in a circle. Think of how that just, it traps you into this fucking rut. The way the schedule, the way the week is set up, the way the hours are set up, and it's not necessarily intended that way, but it keeps us in this little fucking wheel as if we're not going forward, as if we're not moving forward because everything's the same, even years. You have a year, it just goes back. Like there's a January every year. There's a February. There's a July. It's July 1st. That's kind of like one of the inspirations of today's topic. But every year there's a July 1st. Every single fucking year there's a July 1st. Every year. Every single year there's a July 1st. It just makes it feel like time flies faster when you keep it so tight. Like it feels like you're not going anywhere. It's just another July, another July, another July, another July, another July, another Monday, another Thursday. And we don't realize how much it just makes this like monotonous just wheel. There's like a smaller wheel within a bigger wheel, within a bigger wheel, within a bigger wheel. And it's all going around and around and around. And we just feel like we're stuck. However, every single Monday is another Monday. Let me give you something, fam. Nothing's going in a circle, at least from our perspective. Maybe the universe and the entire existence or whatever the heck this is that's going on around us, maybe that's like in some kind of a cycle. But for all, if the universe is just continuously expanding, then we're fucking going out. We're going. So it's not Monday. It's just another Monday. No, it's like your, whatever you would call it. It's your, I don't know, 10,000th Monday or 30,000th Monday. I didn't do any of that math, so you can figure out how many years I was talking about. I don't know. But you're just having endless. It's going forward. You're going forward. You're not going backwards. My point in this whole jumbled logic, all right, if that made sense, I'm glad, because for I got lost myself. I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm trying to spit this out and not overthinking the words. The concept that I'm getting across here is that you're moving forward. It's always a new day. You're not going backwards. There's nothing to compare this Monday to. There's nothing to compare any of this to. There's nothing to compare it to. You can compare it to last week. This is another one. You don't compare it to the last one. You just keep on moving forward. You keep on doing better. Maybe if anything, you compare it to the last one, but you compare each day to the previous. Like you're always moving forward. You're never going back. You're not going in a circle. Every time we get to a Monday, I think there's some kind of like unstated subconscious, like, oh, another one. Oh, another one. And if you think about Monday being negative, you're giving it the premise, we give Monday a negative connotation, even if we've never had a negative Monday. Even if we've never had a negative Monday, we will give that, because when we watch movies, when we're little, everything's always like, oh, Monday, a case of the Mondays. There's songs about fucking Monday. I mean, about it being negative. It's like a theme. And I catch myself because Monday is no different to me than Friday. Yes, I'm working for myself and I'm doing my own thing and I'm on a 24-hour-a-day schedule. Has nothing to do with, starting a 9 to 5 on a Monday. But the thing that I still catch myself is I still catch myself using the verbiage kind of like talking down about Monday. I still catch myself. I don't treat it that way, but I still catch myself. It has this like fucking stink. Has this fucking stink in the air. When you say the word, it's like Monday. It's like, it's fucking, why is there this negative there? Why? And it's because people don't want to go to work on Monday. It's because you're not enjoying what you do. If you enjoy what you do, Monday, Sunday, Friday, Thursday, July, January, it doesn't matter. If you enjoy what you do with your life, every day is cool. A chance that I have. I get to do what I like to do. I get to do this. I get to do that. That is what I think the kicker was, because now that I'm doing things on my terms, I'm doing what I am passionate about, I'm doing what I enjoy. Now I never think about the day. It doesn't matter because it's just more of me doing things that I like to do, which is really the hack. You don't think about the schedule being bad if it's another opportunity for you to do what you want to do or get a step closer to your goals. Not everyone has the ability right now to maybe do what they're passionate about. Maybe you're working and building a business on the side, or you're working on other things. You have hobbies that you're trying to turn into more of a career and more of like a financial benefit. So that type of situation, you're doing what you have to do. You're putting in the work. So every day it's still a step closer, a step closer. A really good friend of mine just hit some major milestones in his fucking grind. He took a big step backward for a moment. He took a step forward and a step backward in a couple different areas of his life, depending on how you look at it. But it was all temporary sacrifice for a goal that he had. And he's like, he just fucking hit a home run recently. So shout out, brother. You know who you are. And I'm super proud of him, because it's hard to swallow your pride and to take a back seat to some things and, essentially take one from the team inside in order to achieve a goal. But that's what sacrifice is. That's what sacrifice is with training. And there's so many different types of sacrifice. But when it comes to sacrifice and work, what is it really that we're sacrificing? It's not the effort, it's the fucking time. You can't get time back. Time is literally the most valuable thing that you have, period. End of story. It's all about time. It's all about how much time that you have. You can't get time back. You can make more money. You can build more muscle. You can lose more fat. Like you can replace things. You can't replace time. You'll never get that back. And to do one thing means you're sacrificing that time to do that thing A, versus what you could spend on thing B. So it's like if you're playing an instrument, you want to practice an instrument, you can only practice one instrument at a time, whether it's for an hour or overall, if you're focusing on becoming proficient in one instrument, you can only do one thing at a time. Really, you can really only do one thing at a time. Unless for example, like you're walking the dog and you're listening to a podcast or something, or you're working out and you're listening to something. I'm not talking about that kind of multitasking. I'm talking about focused energy. So when you're exercising, sure, you could listen to a podcast. You can kind of do two things at the same time in that sense. But when you're at the gym, you're not out at happy hour. You're not lounging on the beach. You're not going to the movies. You're not watching a TV show. You're not playing video games. Like your focus is one thing specifically, not passive listening, not passive absorption. We're talking about focus. So your focus is in your training. Every time you train, you're sacrificing time that you could do something else with. It's a sacrifice. You got to make a choice. If you're going to go to work, you're sacrificing time. You could be home. If you're at home, you're sacrificing time you could use to make money, to pay for X, Y, and Z bills or food or gym memberships. There's always a trade-off. And you can always make that progress. There's always a trade-off with your time, but you can always make that progress in a linear fashion if you're on this fucking hamster wheel, going back to what I was originally saying, trying to piece together so it makes more sense, trying to break it down a little bit. If you're on that hamster wheel going in a cycle, there's this subconscious feeling like you're never making progress forward. You're always hitting the same days over and over again. You're always dreading Monday. You're always, I got to go back. I got to go back. I got to go back to work. I got to go back to work. And then every Monday you're like, fuck my life. That's not the way to go through your life. You really want to escape that. Yes, it's a journey. Yes, it's a process, but that process becomes a lot more clear. It makes a lot more sense when you're enjoying what you're doing in the small term, in the micro, in the little day to day, second to second, moment to moment. And nothing's perfect. You're going to have shitty days. You're going to have things you have to deal with. That's where meditation comes in. That's where exercise comes in, and good companionship and community and stuff comes in for all those little ups and downs. And you learn, you practice, you get better and all that. But, you know, you're always going forward. You're not on a hamster wheel. The point of this, you're not on that hamster wheel. You're not going around in circles, even if the schedule and it seems like on the surface that you are. You're not. So don't treat it like that, because you're going to wake up in 30 or 40 years, be fucking miserable and out of shape because you didn't take care of yourself. You didn't take care of yourself, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, physically, with your health. You didn't take care of yourself by pursuing what you wanted to pursue or you always wanted to do. Like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for with your health? What are you waiting for with your work? What are you waiting for with what you enjoy doing? You have a chance to actually pursue that via the internet while you even have another job. You can do both of those things. Like learn how to apply your interests to social media to do something. Like if you're miserable with your work, or with your health, you know you're out of control, you know you're overweight, or you're really skinny, you're not eating properly. Now's the time. It's time to plug in. It's time to jump in that shit. Not to wait, not to procrastinate till next Monday. There is no next Monday. It's a new Monday. You don't get the same Monday over and over again. You don't get the same Monday on repeat. You don't get the same Monday. It's not, okay, it's Monday again. No, it's Monday 57, 58, 59. I mean, if you're 59, you're a year old. But it's just the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You're losing Mondays. You're losing Mondays every day. You're losing them. You're not getting them back. It's a trick. It's a trick because it sounds like the same. Oh, it has the same name. It says Monday. It's not the same Monday. It's a new Monday. It's not the same Monday, but it's a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck. It's confusing. It'll get you. It'll get you and it'll trap you. And before you know it, you've been through 1,000 Mondays or whatever it is. And then you realize, oh shit, they're not all the same. And it was really important that you apply action. You apply action. You apply action. You fucking get into it. You apply this. You don't just keep on thinking about it, mulling it over, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Don't mull it over. Don't think about it. There's no more time to think about it. Those of you that are watching, I do know that it cut out, but you can catch, too bad you guys missed the middle part of that. You're gonna have to go back and catch the podcast after. I don't know why the connection dipped out, so I'm aware, but you missed that. You got to go back and listen to that because that was a good finish for everything I was talking about. You missed the climax. Everyone on Facebook and YouTube and everything, they were watching. I was about to nut and then they got cut off, but I busted all over Instagram. So if you want to clean up the splooge, go check out the live broadcast. Those are my analogies. I think those are the best analogies. Sexual analogies are the best. Why? We all understand it. We all know the same thing. That's one thing that we all have in common. Busting nuts. We all got that in common. Busting nuts. So that's your fire for today. That's your launch. Go fucking get it, fam. I'll take a couple questions now. Let's get some questions. Don't need to overthink it. Don't need to overthink what I said. Don't need to over discuss it. That's the fucking deal. Go fucking get it. Go get it. All right. I'll take a couple questions. You got questions? Anything left over from yesterday? Oh, I got a little gas. I had some watermelon and a sweet potato before the podcast. And then I'm going to go smash. It's arm day, bitches. Monday gun day. I'm going to fucking whip it out. Yeah. I'm going to show everyone what it's like. I'm going to show you how it tastes. Doesn't matter how many grams of carbs you eat a day. Of course it does. What are you trying? You lift 3 times a day? No, you don't. 3 times a week, probably, and have a very active job. So how am I going to answer that question? How many grams of carbs? Yeah, it does matter. I like more fat than I like carbohydrates, though. But yeah, that was a vague question right there. How are we doing? You love my analogy, Michaela. Of course you do. Of course you do. I had chest and back, feeling so strong, doing 15-kilogram dumbbell chest press. Ooh. Oh, some of the old chats are coming through. Or maybe I'm getting delayed chats. Been wanting to scrub our garage shop floor for weeks. I can do this and listen to the Daily Mother Swole at the same time. All right, cool. Preach. Get after it. When are you going to critic the booty who? I don't know who that is. What is that? What's a booty king? There's King Keto, Booty King. Oh, maybe I did see his stuff. Is that the guy that it says Booty King, but he doesn't even have a booty? Doesn't even look like he lifts? That guy? I don't know if I'm thinking of the same one. There's so many fitness jabronis out there. And not even that. There's so many there's so many people, period, that you can just make a video. I could put nuts on chin just for anything. Depends on how petty you want to get. If you go so low as like to make fun of the way someone looks, it's like, they got to really deserve that shit. They got to really deserve it. As if people aren't insecure enough. What are your thoughts on probiotics? I think a lot of people need them probably. A lot of people need gut restoration, need gut repair. A lot of people have issues with their gut biome and stuff. So it's not even necessarily probiotics. People need to like repopulate their gut biome. A lot of people just take antibiotics like it's fucking nothing. Ibuprofen, antibiotics, they're just sending nuclear weapons down their gut all the time. And it's like, shit. I haven't taken ibuprofen in I don't even remember. I don't even know when the last time I had that. Maybe a year or two. It's like maybe in like extreme situations, I would take it if I fucking had to. One of the problems with antibiotics, one of the problems, it doesn't just kill bad bacteria, it kills good bacteria, it kills everything. It just kills life. It just fucking eradicates. At the airline I work for, I can't help but laugh. Our network operations center has NOC in 5-foot letters on the wall. I blame you for laughing at that. The knock center, they're just putting nuts on each other's chins. They're just teabagging each other in there. You go in like, oh, sorry, am I interrupting? The female Papa Swolio, you don't say. There's a female, she has a beard? There's a female Papa Swolio on YouTube with a beard? Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe you. Kristen, I am off antibiotics unless absolutely necessary for that reason. If you have some like major surgery or you have a real like an infection, if you got to take something, you take it, but you got to do some aggressive restoration. You got to do some aggressive probiotic campaign after with foods like fermented foods and probiotics. That's what I would do. There are a bunch of different strains and like optimal kinds. I forget what all those are, but whenever it comes around, when like you need to, you do that research and you fucking make sure that you're taking what you should be taking. Any advice for weekend overeating? I always fuck up. You need some purpose. If you're fucking up all the time, then that means you don't have enough internal reason to not fuck up. If your reason to not fuck up over the weekend is stronger than your reason to fuck up, you're not going to fuck up. You don't need inspiration or motivation. You need fucking purpose. If you have purpose, you do shit regardless of whether you want to. You don't succumb to those types of cravings. With true purpose, you fucking execute and you'll do it. You'll execute on it if you really want it. You can call it wanting it bad enough. You could play semantics all you want. Call it what you will. If you really want to achieve that, if you really don't want to overeat, then you won't overeat. Maybe you don't care about being lean. You just say you do because people like abs and people tend to want abs, and you're programmed by social standards. Doesn't mean you should be fat acceptance and go that direction, but depends on why you want what you want. If you want it bad enough, you have enough purpose driven, you know your why and why you want to achieve it and why you want to take care of your health, you fucking do it. If you don't, you don't. Not everyone's going to take the same pathway. Maybe you're just overthinking it. Samantha, advice for someone morbidly obese trying to strengthen their hips and train that. Is that a peach? I'm looking at my computer. It looks like a radish. I think it's a peach though. My knee kills me when I bend it too deep. If you're morbidly obese, you have a lot of pressure probably bending in on your knees. So I would recommend, if you're really extremely overweight, you might want to look into some type of like aqua aerobics. You might want to look into some type of, yoga and mobility, just some basic body weight, some standing up, sitting down. You don't want to necessarily walk or do a lot of hardcore cardiovascular activity, but sometimes cardio machines could be beneficial for obesity because you're not putting as much pressure on your joints. So it depends on if you have access to a gym membership, things of that nature. So that's fantastic. Look, it depends on everyone. When you say morbidly obese, I know what I picture in my mind. I don't know what you picture. So yoga may or may not be something that you are able to do. Maybe you can't get up off the ground. I don't know your situation, but you can do chair yoga. You can do stuff in your bed. There's always a regression, no matter what it is, whether it's lifting weights, whether it's doing aqua aerobics, whether it's doing yoga. There's always a modification. So it depends on your specific situation. So if you want to lose weight, it's going to be a caloric deficit, but it's also going to be approaching your nutrition differently and eating and making better food choices. So if you haven't checked out my content on the elimination diet, there's some stuff in my blog, and I've done many podcasts on that. So if you start making better food choices, you can lose and flush out a lot of weight just without exercising, just because you're over consuming. So you're over consuming for what your body requires. You're eating over your caloric needs. You aren't getting away from doing that cardio with me. Oh, I wasn't necessarily saying cardio, but that's, low intensity. I would say resistance training too, but it depends on your actual situation. I can't see what your capacity is. I can't see exactly what you're doing. So it's really hard for me to recommend you should be doing this, you should be doing that. I don't know what you can do. So there's always a way to regress something, and that essentially means make it easier, but it's actually not like it's worthless. It's just you want to train yourself relative to what your capacity is. You don't want to overtrain yourself. Doesn't matter what level you are at. If you're a beginner, that kind of intensity is going to be lower than someone who's more advanced. So the more advanced you get, the more you push yourself, but you still don't want to push yourself so much more. Like for me, I can train myself, or I can put myself under some kind of routine or program that would be too much for my level, and I would overdo it and not recover enough and cause damage, and it would be bad. So it's all relative. All relative. You used to teach water yoga? Whoa. I've never seen water yoga. Should I overtrain my legs to decrease the size of my leg muscles? Maria on Instagram, I don't understand that at all. Should I overtrain my legs to decrease the size of my leg muscles? I don't know if you're really going to decrease the size of your muscles if you continue to train them. Overtrain, undertrain, there's some word in there that's not what it's supposed to be. So you're going to have to rephrase that, but it will probably be signed off here before you actually get that back on there. Just ate a big bowl of air. Good for you. Yeah, if you didn't see today's YouTube video, I highly recommend going and checking it out. You'll enjoy it. Your knees shake when you squat too deep. Any advice for strengthening knees? It's not your knees, it's your muscles. Your muscles are severely atrophied and undertrained. Your body is shaking because you don't have the neuromuscular coordination and the strength. It's not your knees, it's the muscles around your knees that cross the knee joint. Yeah, just then if you don't have weights or you don't need weights, then sit down, stand back up. Just do squats like that. That's how you strengthen. You're not going to strengthen it by hoping. You're going to strengthen them by doing it. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, squat, stand up out of a chair, sit back down, stand up out of a chair, sit back down. Do it 10 times. Do it. If you can only do it 3 times, then do it. Try to do 4. If you can only do it 9 times, then try to do it 10 times. If you can only do it 19 times, do it 20 times. If you can do it 30 times, okay, do sets of 15. Do 15, rest for 15 seconds. Do 15, progress into sets. Just all that's going to be good. With just body weight, you do what you can do. You slowly progress it. But you want to push yourself to where you're challenged. But at the beginning of any type of exercise, especially when you're just beginning and you're severely undertrained and when you're overweight and obese, you just have to make sure that you are giving yourself a challenge, but not to failure. You're not over fatiguing yourself because it's all about getting consistent and the frequency. But if you're doing body weight stuff, underdo it. Well, underdo it. It's not that simple as just squat more. I'm just saying if your knees shake when you squat too deep, then sit down, like lower the chair or get a chair that's just about where your body starts to get a little bit fatigued and just practice that. And then you can lower the chair a little bit more or lower the height. You don't necessarily just want to squat more. That's part of it, but that's a very simple way to get started. And it's a simple way to get consistent and to start feeling confident enough to do other things. But then you can get into more bodyweight stuff like yoga. Yoga's great. It helps getting you moving on the floor and stuff. But if you have trouble getting off the floor, you either need someone near you or you need to set a situation up. Because I don't know, if you said morbidly obese, I think you might have trouble getting up off the floor. You can fall, hurt yourself, and have an emergency situation. So that's why I'm being very hesitant to give you like specifics. I'm giving you very basic stuff because otherwise it's a little bit negligent. And I don't want you getting the wrong idea of what I'm saying. But in other words, there's always something that you can do. Anyone that's listening, there's always something you can do. If you're extremely immobile, there's something you can do. If you're extremely active, of course, there's a lot more things that you can do, but it's all relative to what your capacity is. So get after it. How can I decrease the size of my leg muscles? Stop working out. Stop lifting so much. I don't know what you're doing right now. Decrease the size of your leg muscles. Maybe you mean body fat. Maybe your body, you actually have more fat than you think you do. You're trying to get rid of leg fat. How big can your leg muscles be that it would be a cumbersome issue to you? Unless you're seeing complete striations and you're just ripped and defined out of control, you have fat on top of the muscle. So it could be a body fat issue most likely. And if you don't lift weights and you just have naturally big, there's nothing that I'm going to be able to tell you that will get rid of them. Not that I'm aware of, aside from surgery. And that just sounds weird where you're going to cut out muscle. You have body fat on your legs that's covering the muscles. And some people just have more. Some people have really big calves and they just genetically do. There's no way to like slim down with exercise. You could do just like a ton of high reps or a ton of like, well, I mean, if they're there like that naturally, I mean, what are you going to do? They're there already. Silver beats. When I started exercising regularly, I couldn't even do a girly push-up. So I started with wall pushes. Now I can do 2 good full push-ups after about 2 years of work. Yeah, but see, that's exactly what you do on the edge of a bed against a wall. That's how you do for a pull-up for people that want to progress to a pull-up. It's dead on. You'll get used to the nuts on the chin. Well stated. That's very true. That's very true. Any suggestions for leg cramps on the back of my thighs? Most times my legs cramp and try to lock up even when I'm just starting to do leg curls, not using any weights yet. Keep practicing yoga. You might have an electrolyte imbalance. Maybe you're low on magnesium. You can look into that. There's certain supplements out there that might be good for leg cramps, like Natural Calm is one of them. I know a lot of people that have used that for muscle cramps and stuff like that. I tend to get cramps, but I put Celtic sea salt in my water. Maybe you're just not getting enough of those electrolytes and things that might help from extra contraction. If you're doing yoga, that can help too. Maybe you're just very, very tight. Maybe some foam rolling ahead of time. What do you do? You're doing a leg curl machine. Maybe you don't need that as much. Maybe you should do some Romanian deadlifts instead. I rarely do leg curls. Not that you can't, but if you're not doing Romanian deadlifts, you're missing out if you really want to make some hamstring progress, if that's what you're trying to do. Something to think about. It could also just be some muscle imbalance. Maybe your glutes aren't activating properly enough. That's another option. A lot of little factors that kind of get overlooked. Could be a hydration, could be the mobility and stretching beforehand, could be the muscle balance, could be electrolytes. So some things to check out. Anyway, fam, make sure that you check out today's YouTube video. If you're a Swolenormous X member or a Daily Swole Club member, we had an accountability meeting today at noon. So if you missed it, you can still catch that in the Facebook group. And if you want access to the private community, you can gain access by either joining the Daily Swole Club and supporting the podcast. So thank you for everyone that does that. And also you can get access, of course, if you are a full Swolenormous X member. So you can find out more about that at swolenormousx.com. You can find links to the podcast, the blog with more articles and workouts and shit like that, the Gain Train blog. And you can also check out the Swolenormous apparel. Did I mention that already? Maybe I did. So podcast, blog, apparel, all the other stuff, swolenormousx.com. And of course, we'll be here tomorrow for episode 1152 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Peace, McGee's fam, deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio, out.